You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and this is the Talk Beat Jones. This is the Talk Beat Jones. This is the Talk Beat Jones. All right, the Executive Vice President, General Manager, Mr. Henry Tyler, the man that makes everything smooth, is here this morning, and he takes care of the business. He trains everybody, including me, and we are live on the Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy E. Jones, sometimes referred to as Dr. Talk, but this is the Talk Beat Jones. Remember, tell your friends, tell your fans that we're around the world right now, and we're on that Amazon, we're on the Roku, we're on www.tv33whpr.com. You can also pick us up over your telephone by going to that same app, and of course on the internet. You got a social media, we're live. You can pick us up, and I had meant to do the Facebook this morning, but I wasn't quite ready for it. Got a special guest that I'm going to bring in very quickly because he has a lot to say. I talked to him. I said, man, we can be chatting for about a whole nother year, and we still won't be complete with what you got to say. But again, want to say to all friends and fans around the world, call your friends, share this program this morning, put it on Facebook. I tell you what, Mr. Tyler, I want to say this right now. I love Mr. Henry Tyler, and I know that R.J. Watkins received all of the bulk of the credit. But remember one thing, Mr. R.J. Watkins works on not 2 hips, he works on 4 hips, because Mr. Henry Tyler is his backbone to make this business work. I want y'all never to ever forget that. That's the arrangement that they have. That Mr. R.J. is the out front person receiving the credit. But without Mr. Henry Tyler, where would we be? With that, Mr. Tyler, I'm going to bring on my guest because I'm looking to see if we can't develop a relationship. I don't know the guy. I've never talked to him per se. So this is going to be an on-the-air relationship development. You know how you go to those meet and greet and you try to meet somebody? Well, we're going to try to meet this guy and see what he got to say. We ready, Mr. Tyler? Oh, there he is. Yeah. There he is. Yeah. Hey, how you like yourself on TV right now? I know you say I know you say you've been here before.
Yeah.
But I told you what. I am Dr. Talk.
Okay.
Not with being arrogant, not with being whatever, but being humble, because that's the way that Mr. R.J. Watkins, Mr. Henry Tyler has groomed me to be the best. And so that's what you are when you're with Talk Beat Jones. Now tell me something. The people are looking at you, friends and fans, and I ain't going to try to introduce you. Oh. Would you please take that camera and dominate it?
Okay, well, let me get, I'm on the right one. Okay.
So your camera.
I'm Roger Penzabene, Jr., Chairman and CEO of the Highland Park Chamber of Commerce, reestablished in this era of time in 2016. And I do a few other things, but right now I'm here today in the capacity of the Highland Park Chamber of Commerce. And let's get into it.
All right. Sounds great to me. You know, what is the purpose of your organization, the Chamber of Commerce?
Okay, well, the purpose of every Chamber of Commerce is just what it says, to bring, to attract trade and commerce and to sustain the businesses and things that's in the area, in that community where they operate, and to raise the economic bar and just to enhance the community, develop the community along the lines of trade and economic success. So every small town to big metropolis typically has a chamber of commerce, and it's an independent business civic organization. It's not a government entity, but traditionally the chambers do all they can to, like you said in the intro, to build relationships between.
Yes,
the chamber is kind of like the hub. They develop and cultivate relationships with politicians, local, all the way up to D.C.
All right.
They do.
When you say D.C., you're talking about Washington.
Washington. They deal with foreign trade, foreign investment in some cases.
Well, let me ask you this question. Why do you want, because I know that you're concerned about the library for one, but why do you want to restore the McGregor, is that right?
McGregor Library?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Well, I mean, I'm a lover of art, first and foremost.
Now, what does that mean when you say you're a lover of art?
I love all things beautiful. I love art and culture. I like diversity. I like the civilized aspect of art, whether it's graphic arts or liberal arts of intellectual study, whether it's performing arts such as dance, acting, even this radio show to a degree.
This is TV.
Well, TV, you can see TV.
I mean, this is radio, but it's TV.
Right. Well, that's
because we're gonna be playing, because we go around the world.
Okay.
And some people are watching us on the radio per se,
Right.
the live screening, etc. But I always like to tell people that this is TV.
Okay. Well,
And as a little kid, we always, I want to be on TV.
yeah.
And they used to tell me that the people on radio were ugly. Good voices. Now, I mean, I'm just being straight up. They say I got the type of face that only could be on the radio.
Yeah.
But I got that voice.
Right.
Now, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about the other radio
Okay.
personalities back in the day.
Yeah.
Now they got beautiful women, handsome men. That's on the radio as well. So I want to get that.
Well, yeah. So I stand corrected. TV. I'm sorry. I do a lot of this, and sometimes I get confused where I'm at. But I'm in Highland Park. I'm an entrepreneur. I was offended almost when I found out how long the library had been sitting vacant, unused, unloved, and then I started to ask questions of why, because I'm from the area. I'm from Detroit. I'm from the Boston Edison neighborhood. Central High School.
Sound like you ready to get nasty.
Yeah, so anyway, I've been coming through Highland Park all my life, and I'm from the age that I recall the heyday of Highland Park when it was, a nice place to be and respected and somewhat desired, coming in high school when they first, I'm from the generation of when the high school relocated to Woodward Avenue, and it was state of the art then, so you couldn't go to Highland Park High unless you had a Highland Park address. So a lot of my friends and people
let me ask you this:
transferred over.
Are you getting support from the city of Highland Park to do the restoration?
Not at this time.
Why do you think?
I don't know why we when I say we, I mean the Chamber of Commerce, me and the board of directors, the people that work with me. We don't know why. We according to the people, it's a matter of the officials in the city have not done the things they need to do, must do to get that type of action and that type of attraction
When
going.
we say the officials, are you speaking of from the mayor's perspective,
Well,
or is it other organizations that you have to go through
right. Well,
to do this?
as a whole, if people understand their local politics and civics, It's a combination. It's the it's a combination between the mayor's office and the city council, and then they are limited in scope by what they can and can't do according to the people's will. But then you have to understand who has the authority and the power over what parts of the city.
Okay.
So like the mayor, he has an administrative job. He's a figurehead.
Okay.
But in some cases, in most cases, in cities and municipalities, the city council kind of have more authority over certain things as far as the real estate and
What
things
is
like
your
that.
relationship with the city council?
I don't have a relationship with the city council, and it saddens me
Okay.
to a degree because I continuously try to have a relationship with the city council, but at this time they have been non-responsive with to us no logical reason. The only reason that we hear or that they give to us, and when I say they usually let one person speak for them that I can say, and that's the president of the city council, Mr. Rodney Patrick. But it seems to be some animosity towards myself or towards the chamber because, quote unquote, we're not Parkers or we are
Highland
right,
Parkers.
right.
Tell me, let's. I'm gonna come back to this. Now I noted, and I've noted that. Oh, she didn't put my stuff. That Detroit folk, Highland Park folk, they have this thing. Seems to me that if you're not actually from this zone or that
Right.
zone, then no matter how good or how great or what your intentions is for the development, there is a passive resistance to making you a good person. Why do you think that is?
I can't even attempt to explain that because I don't understand that type of logic. So you would have to invite them or one of them or
Well,
however
I
it
get the
goes.
calls.
Yeah, but
And I get the calls, and I listen to them making calls to other folks who at different levels.
yeah,
But it's like if they're hiding, they'll say, I was born and raised in Detroit, and they can be almost idiots, and they will receive support.
right. I like I said, I can't attempt to answer it. To me, it's kind of juvenile, a juvenile way of thinking, and it's certainly not a business way of thinking. So you would assume, rightfully so, in my opinion, that when you are a leader and you are an elected official, that's business, and you have to do business with whoever is in your best interest, whoever comes that can be an asset and a resource for you, regardless of where they come, especially if you're in a disenfranchised community such as Highland Park.
Now,
So-
I've gone at a different point in time down Woodward, and I've noted, and you may again be able to help me see that they've had concerts,
Right.
they have vendors on the land that is the library land. Is that true?
Right. To my knowledge, I know for at least 10 years, they've been holding consecutive concerts every summer, usually in August, I think, with a 3-day
Okay.
concert series on the grounds of the public library, public property. So why
That's the library
Right,
property.
McGregor Library in Highland Park. I think that's hosted by the Highland Park Business Association.
What type of relationship do you have with that association?
Again, we don't have a relationship with them. They have not been venomous towards us, but non-responsive nonetheless. No collaboration. And I've spoken with their leader.
That's called passive resistance.
Well, I'll let you call it something.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it is, but we wished each other well. We don't do anything to hinder them directly, and they have not thus far tried to hinder us. But it's not a relationship. We welcome it to a degree, as far as doing positive relations and doing business. But
During that time that they're having this particular 3-day event, are the groups that are providing this venue or service or activities for the community of Highland Park and others.
Right.
Are these performers or acts, are they paid by this association? Do they receive revenue? And how does that work?
Well,
Is that something that put money into Highland Park's coffers, or is that strictly a good feel-good situation
right.
for
Well,
Highland Park?
this is what I can say. I'm not a part of that organization, so I don't know the internal workings and politics of how they arrange it and what they do and where the money goes, etc. What I do know is it is a charge for the ticket.
Okay.
So the general public is welcome, but it's a charge for the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so
Where
I
does
know
that
it's
money
on-
go?
I couldn't tell you. So this is what I do know. If it's a public event and it's held on public property, city-owned property, that means the stakeholders of Highland Park own that property. So when you own something, you ought to get a piece of the action what goes on that property. And according, that's how I would do it. If it's my property, then I'm either going to do it as a gift or I'm going to get a piece of the action. And if I'm doing it as a gift, I'm going to direct where those funds
When
go.
you say get a piece of the action, is that a sideline, good old boy type of arrangement?
It could be. I'm just saying. Typically, first. Let me say this: in legitimate business, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I
And they can
doubt
call
it.
us at 313-868. What's that number, Mr. Tyler? Oh,
Yeah.
868-4336. Miss Tyler, I just wanted to hear your voice.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, usually when you're doing any type of legitimate business, especially on a city level or state,
You can
leave
take it
a
off.
paper trail. You have a paper trail. So you should any business, everybody who runs a business know you have to account and justify things with the IRS. If it's something of that nature, the mayor and the city council typically knows about it, and you can't do it without their sanction and permission. In this case, I think that would be under the city council's authority. And so anyway, it should be a way for if me and you, you and I want to look.
So
it
you're
should be
dealing
some kind
up.
of
So you
record.
got to still an uphill battle, not a battle, but reaching across the
Yeah.
grounds to get a
The politics,
relationship.
the politics.
So how do you plan to get financial backing to restore the library and other historical buildings
Well,
potentially?
again, our plan is to develop relationships, which we have some in place, and the intent is, I would offer 100% private capital investment, and that includes the donations of the stakeholders who live in Highland Park, meaning the residents, and also the outside neighboring communities. Everybody has to understand, Highland Park, it needs Detroit. And Detroit needs Highland Park. Highland Park is in a geographic location that's strategic to Wayne County success. All the
This is considered the what is that called when you are the capital of another city? Highland Park is considered like the capital of Detroit, or what is that called?
I just think it's a neighbor. The capital is kind of like the go-to place where,
Yes.
what Lansing is for all the state politics.
Mhm.
But I think Highland Park would be more, in my mind, to a depot,
Okay.
a transition spot.
Okay.
You have to come through Highland Park, coming or going, to get to Detroit. If you're coming from Oakland County, you got to come through Highland Park. If you're leaving Detroit to go north to Oakland County, you got to come through Highland Park.
So Highland Park is strategically located. It's geographically strategically
Right.
located for everything.
Yeah, and it's what developers call a gold mine. It's a gold mine, wealth of opportunity here in Highland Park due to its history, its legacy. It's a lot of history that comes out of Highland Park that all the stakeholders need to know about. So you got to know your worth. If you know your worth and your value, then you can leverage it. Then you can do business in a way that's going to benefit you. Now, if you send a spokesman, which your elected officials are, then they should have that strategy in mind. And if you know your worth, you know how to shop it, you know how to negotiate, you know how to market and dictate the terms, so to speak. So, and you got to know what you have of value so you can negotiate it. So,
When do you expect the Chamber of Commerce to be up and running and to make a difference with the project? With the
well,
project?
we have been up and running since 2016. But like any new business, you have to build the infrastructure from within first. So that's what my philosophy is as the chairman.
The infrastructure, that
Meaning
is
our
the building of relationships and getting people to respect and respond to your needs.
right, even my team.
Yes.
The people I have on my board of directors,
And,
they
and,
are
and,
persons
when,
of
when you
influence.
finish that question, just that answer, I'm going to ask you, how do you select your board of directors? But complete your question, your
Okay,
answer, please.
yeah, and I'm gonna clean up a few things, but our infrastructure is what you said. It was me. It started with me and the idea, and then I had to go out and be compliant with the state regulations are, what the tax regulations are. We are a nonprofit C6 corporation from the IRS, which governs over business organizations, civic organizations, etc. So the team, I can't do it by myself. I don't expect to do it. I'm not an expert in economic development. I'm not an expert in community development. I'm not an expert in art and culture. But I go out and find those people. So to what you asked, how do I find them, or what's the selection process?
Yes, sir.
Really, what it is you find people first who are interested, who have a sincere investment or a sincere want to invest in a product or a community.
Would these particular persons, would these be political people? Would
And
these be entrepreneurs? Would these be business
right.
owners? Or what type of background ish would they be?
Well, with us, every business has a degree to write their own bylaws, etc., and know what they're looking for. But for us, we look for people, like I said, who have the commitment, who have the resources, who have the education, who have the influence, the power of their name, the power of their persuasion, what they can do, who they know. Sometimes the old saying in business is who you know, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
So
So
that
we consider
goes.
all of that.
So that goes along with the understanding that I made very, very early on when Governor Snyder was elected governor, and he put in 4 or 5 of former Governor English persons to run his organization, because again, it's like you say, what? It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
And of course, those persons had come from Engler's being the governor and being his cabinet people, and Snyder placed those people in his cabinet. So it was like, hey, Fred, here's what we're going to do. Fred says, man, good to see you again. What can we do?
Right. Well, that's the dynamic of the relationship. Like you said with me and you,
Yes.
today is the first day, hopefully, of a good or a bad relationship.
Yes.
It's up to us which way it's going to go. It's going to be give and take. It's going to be negotiate politics, things in common. I have to have some value to you, vice versa. So,
And you have to have the value to the community,
right.
is what we're speaking on, because there is a voice, like I said, as a person that is a youngster, I was placed in management, and when I went to different cities, the ownership of the companies that I worked for always said that you have to be a part of the Chamber of Commerce.
Right, right. You should. I mean, it's just good business practice. So we saw the need and filled the void. And now we're here and we intend to be here. We own a building. And I want to just clean up a few things and
Please
then we
do.
can move on. So our presence is here. We're invested in this community. We have a blighted building at 91 Glendale, the former Royal Nursing Home. That's going to be our international headquarters. When I say international, it's important because we are setting up our infrastructure to do world-class trade and business, to deal with global economy, and bring that commerce and that attention to the city of Highland Park, to broker those types of deals in partnership with the city, whether the city council and the mayor, as they go, whoever this city elects, we will deal with those officials, Republican, Independent, Democrat, doesn't matter to us. It's important to know the Chamber of Commerce is bipartisan. We can personally be what we want to be. As myself, I'm a Democrat, but we have other affiliations on the chamber, on our board of directors. So it's about business. It's not about ego and these other things. It's about doing business. So
Speaking of that, for the worldwide audience, for the Highland Parkers audience, Detroit, and etc., and the Metro, tell us again, what's your name, who you are, and what you represent.
okay, Roger. Excuse me, Roger Penzabene. I'm the chairman and CEO of the Highland Park Chamber of Commerce. I'm Junior, and I'm the son of Roger Penzabene, singer, celebrated Motown writer, producer. So some may know my name from that, and that's my father. I'm his namesake, carrying that legacy as well. And I'm here in Highland Park. I'm a businessman, entrepreneur. I'm personally invested in Highland Park, and I do business. I've tried to do as much business as I can in Highland Park and build relationships. They will be hearing a lot from me if I have something to say about it. So that's who I am. The Chamber of Commerce is leading the way in Highland Park to do business on a global scale. So whereas the mayor and the city council are restricted to Highland Park, that's their governance. We can help in Highland Park. We are not the mayor. We are not the city council. We know our role. We don't want to step on toes, but we insist on doing our business our way. We are open to partnerships with anyone. If you sell puppies in Highland Park as a breeder, that's what we care about. We're going to ask you, okay, do you have all your stuff together to be recognized as a legitimate breeder? And you possibly, if you meet that criteria, you can join the Chamber of Commerce as a client member, and
Yes.
then we will represent
All
you.
businesses
Right.
can be in the
We-
part of any business that's a legit business
Right.
can join.
The Chamber of Commerce. You have to be 18 years of age or older and have a legal registered business with the state of Michigan. Now, understand, and that's another thing we do. We provide training and education or advice, but that's not a DBA. So a lot of people
Doing business as.
a lot of people have that, and they count that as a business. So without getting into the dynamics of that right now, you have to be registered with the state of Michigan. So you a legal corporation of sort, whether it's for profit, nonprofit. Okay, that's the start. And then you come to us and say, hey, listen, this is what I'm working with, and we help you. If we have to help tailor it, fine tune it, help you advise you on some things, but we will represent you. And you could be a home-based business.
Do you have any backing, interest, or support from anyone from any of these state legislators?
Yes, right here at home in Highland Park, Mayor Hubert Yap, the current mayor, he's a supporter. He's positive with us, and in fact, he's on our advisory board in an ex officio capacity.
What does that mean? Wait. When I say that, you see, we got people that you just lost.
Right,
You
right.
use the terminology that a lot of people don't know what that means. So break that word down for
Okay,
us.
so I have to identify him as such to people to understand the legality of how he functions. He has to operate with us. He's basically eyes and ears in the room. He can't, being the mayor of the city, then he can't have a conflict of interest helping us. So he's there just as a courtesy because we want to have that relationship. So he doesn't.
And he's getting firsthand information, whether he can act or don't act. When he goes home, he has heard it firsthand.
Right. He has a
himself.
relationship with us, and he is welcome to be in the room at any of our meetings. He's to be a presence for Highland Park, so he can get firsthand information. He doesn't. He can send a representative if he wants, but he's been gracious enough that he comes himself. He spends the time. He offers advice because he's there as an advisor, and so he doesn't vote. ex officio is a legal term, but it
Yes.
just means he's basically there in the capacity of the best interest of the city of Highland Park. He doesn't vote in any of our business, and he doesn't have an official role as far as governance.
But he's a person that you're able to reach across the board, the yard, they say,
Yeah.
and you can hold your hand, and you can have terms in which you can agree to disagree, or you can agree, and here's maybe some tips on how you can move forward.
Right.
And maybe there's someone in my administration that I can direct you to.
Right. And directly, like I said, directly, it's important to have that relationship with your city officials. So in our case, the city council is welcome. To my knowledge, it's 5 of them. All 5 of them could show up as far as I'm concerned, and they would be allowed to come into the room as long as we have advance notice, because there's a few things that have to take place. Like, we all sign confidentiality agreements, and we all get sworn in by either Mayor Yap, if he's present that day you come, or Judge Salenthia Miller from 36th District Court, who is our first vice president. So we do those things because if you come to us with your business plan or your personal information, you want to feel comfortable that it's going to be handled in a professional capacity, that nobody's going to take your information to compete against you or to harm you in any kind of way. So we set up practices, best practices, that whoever deals with us on whatever level, if it's a block club leader in the city, we do everything in confidentiality. We do everything above board, transparent, paper trail, everything. It's business.
Does the tax base of Highland Park help you provide for the restoration of the library? They've got new companies moving in, etc. That's going to provide, I assume, some tax base.
Right. So as much as now taxes, we cannot collect taxes, but we can work with corporations to deal with sponsorships. So we can broker those deals. Let's give an example. Let's say it's a playground.
Yes.
And it might establish a playground or a park of some sort, or you may want to improve what you have. So the Chamber of Commerce would be a resource, because we would go and try to negotiate those relationships and partnerships with different corporations and to get those corporate dollars.
Speaking of making relationships, if a person that's doing a business, thinking about doing a business, or if there's a corporate persons out there, or even officials in Highland Park, and they say, you know what, I need to talk with you. I need to contact your organization. Is there a way that persons can contact you, please?
Yeah. Okay, let me give you all the information. Phone number is 313-349-0587. So that's our phone number.
Wait, you got to do that again, because I was reaching in. All I could do was get my keys.
Okay, it's 313-349-0587 is the phone number.
Okay.
HPMIChamber@gmail.com is the email.
Do it again.
HPMIChamber@gmail.com. That's email. HPMI.org is our website. And then Facebook, you can go on Highland Park Chamber of Commerce on Facebook and get our page. Now, if depending on how you punch it in, sometimes I've been told Highland Park, Illinois will come up. So make sure you have Highland Park, Michigan on there. And then with our website, bear with us, because we are overhauled. We're constantly trying to upgrade and improve our situation. So our website is about to be under construction, so we can have it with all the bells and whistles and be more professional.
But in the
more
meantime,
secure.
once again, they can contact you right now.
Right.
What telephone number?
At 349-0587, 313 area code. And also post office box for those who want to do mail of that sort. It's post office box 3989, Highland Park, Michigan 48203. So we try to cover all the bases as far as contacting us.
What is your long-term predicted data for what you're doing?
Well, we're here every day doing business. So we go out and solicit the businesses we can identify. If you have a home-based business or you have some business and you haven't had contact with us, bear with us because we're trying to cover a lot of ground. But contact us and let us know you're interested and that you want to know more about us or how we can help you. I want to. So that's basically, see me. I'm out about Highland Park all the time.
Okay.
I hang out a lot down here at this studio.
Okay.
And I encourage all the businesses to come to WHPR and deal with Mr. Watkins and Mr. Tyler and advertise your business, promote, use your hometown vehicle to do the things that's in your best interest to do, and negotiate with people and find out how they can help you.
What is the buzzword as you are moving around Highland Park, etc.? What is the buzzword? Because, you know, Highland Park has a television program here on Mondays that bring in different officials and different awareness about what's going on in Highland Park. Have you heard any buzzword about what's going on here?
Yeah, it depends on actually what circle you travel in. But if you travel in the business circles and the open minds and people that's really positive and trying to accomplish things on a social business level or even political level, then the buzz is good. It's good about Highland Park. They know the opportunities that are on the way, that are here, that they plan for and hope for. About certain businesses, like, for instance, WHPR. The people in the know, they know what resources are here.
Yes.
So like yourself, you have a talk show.
Yes.
Some others, if you have an idea, it might be totally different from this. You can come down here and talk with Mr. Tyler, talk with
Miss Willis,
Mr. Whoever, and negotiate, do some business. Come in here, do your commercials.
We're down to our last minute, but I want to know, in the end, how do you plan or see how the library will be used? I got about a minute and a half. I got Reverend Dr. Massey here.
Yeah.
Got to bring him on because he is the voice of Detroit.
Okay, well, real quick, we want to do a world-class, state-of-the-art, high-tech learning center. So it'll still be a library, but it'll be a library where you could check out a book from all over the world. You could talk with people in real time all over the world. And real quick, I want to give shouts to all our client members, but 3 that make a big impact and a difference in Highland Park. That's DTE, Comcast Cable, and Coca-Cola Company.
Did you say that Comcast is coming to the Highland Park?
Comcast is in Highland Park.
Okay.
They're setting up and they're doing business, and they are all supporters of the Chamber of Commerce, and we want to give them acknowledgement and let the community know. Contact those general managers as well, because
here we are.
They want to do
I'm
business.
Billy E. Jones. You can contact me at 313-412-3111. I know that for your health care, you're thinking about that liquid biocell, that Jasuru, and also for your health and your beauty, you want to get some of that Easy Silk Hair and Skin Line products. 313-412-3111. Call me. I will deliver. But once again, give them a telephone number as you get ready to go.
Okay. 313-349-0587. HPMIChamber@gmail.com. That's the email. Give me a call. I'll help you in any way I can.
Who's going to answer the phone? You?
It may be me, but
What's your name?
Somebody. Roger Penza Bene Jr.
Thank
Chairman,
you, sir.
CEO, Highland Park
Hope
Chamber
to see
of
you
Commerce.
again. You
see
think
me
you can come back
anytime.
next week?
Anytime you want me, I'll be here.
Okay, well, let's go ahead, because this is the information that we want the Highland Parkers and the world to know what's going on. But we got to run because we've got Reverend Dr. Massey ready to give you that spiritual edification. Love you, appreciate you, and we'll see you back next week. He says, if the creek don't rise or something like that. I don't know. I can't never do these things right. All I can say is I love you and appreciate you. Bye now. You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And this is the Talk Beat Jones. This is the Talk Beat Jones. This is the Talk Beat Jones.
Good morning, TV audience. This is Dr. Massey with the Voice of Detroit on this lovely TV station, WHPR, coming out of Highland Park, Detroit. They tell me that Highland Park is actually the capital of Detroit. I want to give a shout out this morning for American Legion Post number 70, and they meet every first Monday of the month over here at the Elks Club. And so if you're out there and you've been in the service and have served your country well, I want you to come on in and be a part of this group over at the Elk Club on the first Monday of the month. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the last Monday of the month. And that's post number 70. Also, I want to give a shout out for all of those you guys who was in the service, especially during the time that I served. I served from 1970 to 1976. This was right in the middle of the Vietnam crisis. They began to pull them out there in 72, and about 76, it was winding it all up. But we thank God for the opportunity to serve our country, and we just want to give a shout out to all the soldiers that are out there, all the veterans who are out there who are listening in this morning. I want you to know that I'm your brother. I salute you. You know, I want to give a shout out also to Jeter's Funeral Home. You know, I've been associated with them for quite a while, since 1981, when Betty was alive and Prince Sr. was alive. And they used to support our ministry. They were over there in Wyoming, Trinity Deliverance Church. But listen, if you just lost a loved one and you just don't know what to do, please call Jeter's Funeral Home. Their telephone number is 834-6100. That's 834-6100. And ask to speak to Yolanda. Yolanda Jeter Cameron. She is the executive director at Jeter's Funeral Home. All right. We was working on a project, and this is very important because Detroit has approximately 1/3 of their houses that are going into, or already has gone into, what you call that when you lose your house? A foreclosure. Going into foreclosure. And God has blessed me with a great mind to, and has given me a great resolve that's inside of me what to do when we're faced with a problem. And this is a real problem, because if we don't adhere and step up now, I'm telling you, we're going to lose a lot of houses. A lot of more people are going to be leaving the city of Detroit. But we don't want that to happen. So this is what we propose to do. You know, down at the bank, the Detroit Housing Bank, you can go and buy nine houses. If you're an organization, you can get 9 houses. And what I want to do is to pull together a group of people who need a house. And we're going to walk you through it. We're going to show you how to raise the $500 for the house. And then we'll show you how to raise the money to fix the house. But if we do it together, it'll be easy. Because a lot of you have a lot of Facebook friends and Twitters and Instagram that you can call upon to help us with this particular project, so that we can all win. I want to walk 8 people through, but really 9 with myself. And what we want to do is go ahead, raise the $500. Somebody said, well, I already got $500. And that's good. We don't have to raise that portion for you. We can get the houses for $500, but you got to show that you are able to fix the house up. So what we'll do, collectively, we will raise the money to fix the house up. Right now, we are negotiating with my friend over on Chicago, my godson, Melvin Rack, who has a lot of people that is exposal. He knows a master mechanic. He knows a master plumber. He knows a master electrician, and he knows a master brick mason. So what we want to do is we want to bring these guys on board to tell them what we want to do. Then we want them to hire some journeymen, someone who know the trade and who can do the job, who don't yet have his license, and maybe this would be a process that he or she can go through to receive their license. Also, we have children who would like to learn the trade, and so what we want to do is to match them up with our group so that as we get the houses, these journeymen will teach actually our children how to do the house. A lot of our kids can become electricians, they can become plumbers, they can become masons, they can become carpenters, because we want to give them that chance to do that. And we can do that. Now, the other thing is, if you're going to come on board to do it, I would like for you to make a commitment. And the commitment is, as I walk these 8 people through, you will turn around and you will get 8 people that you can walk through. And, of course, you'll get a house yourself. And then what you want to do is help these 8 people to get a home, and you will show them the process, what to do to get these home. Well, the same way that I will do. If you will do this, I'll tell you what God will do for you. God will actually bless you beyond your imagination, because when you take your group through, like I'm taking my group through, then I would take a second group through. But after I take a second group through, then I would get 9 houses for myself. Because what happens is, I don't want to get 9 houses for myself, and there are people out there who need a house. But now, if I take 8 people through, you're going to walk through 8 other people besides yourself, and you're going to do that twice, and then you can have 9 houses yourself. Now, it's very simple. You know, a home is like a bank. If you got a home, you can pull the equity out of that home to do business. So what happens is, when we get the second home, say that you can pull $75,000 after that out of that home once it's fixed up. And when we fix it up, we go fix it up to the T. Most all our homes in Detroit have the hardwood floors, so we're going to pull up the carpet. We'll get us a guy who can sand the floor and polish the floors. Always begin to look good already. And then we'll have a guy who like working with a kitchen, let him come in and remodel our kitchen and our bathroom. And then if we need a roof, we'll put the roof on. But we want to try to choose houses that we don't need any roof. There's a lot of houses out there look like they've got brand new roofs on them, but they've gone into foreclosure. So we'll get a chance to pick and choose the houses that we want to work with. And the less money we have to pay out, the more money that we can make. Now, the other thing is that when you get to the level when you done took 2 group of people through, and then you get your 9 houses, you might just want to sell a house. You don't want to hold a house. And you probably could sell it for about $40,000 very easily. And, you know, 40 times 9, 9 times 4 is 36. That's $36,000. Now you're off and running. You can begin to diversify your monies. You can stay with the houses and walk it all the way through until every home that's in the city of Detroit would be brought back into this cycle, whereby now they can pay taxes and they can get insurance on the houses, etc. So what it will do, it would exponentially help our financial cycle in the city of Detroit. More people are started coming in instead of people leaving. People are going to leave if they don't have a home. People are going to leave when they lose their home and they don't have a job and see no way of getting that house back again. But listen, you give me a call. My telephone number is area code 313-332-8592. Keep calling because I get a lot of calls. And my voicemail may be full even right now. But I will clear the voicemail today. And then if I can't catch your call, then you can leave your message. Again, that area code is 313-332-8592. I'd like to give a shout out again this morning for my wife, Yolanda Monique. And we said, God bless you this morning. We love you this morning. And want to encourage you to continue on that route that God has placed you on. She's working on her doctorate degree, got 2 master's degrees. She's working on a doctorate degree, and she's in her last class. But this class requires to do 5 different papers, and she's working on it very diligently. And I hope that sometime this year we'll be able to invite you to come and be with her as she receive her doctorate degree. So I'm so happy for her. I won't use the word proud because God hates a proud look and he hates a proud spirit. So we won't be proud, but we will be grateful and thankful unto the Lord for all that he does. Again, my telephone number is area code 313-332-8592. If you need a home, if you know somebody who needs a home, let them come in and be a part of this. We'll show them how to get that first $500 that they need to purchase a home, and then together, collectively, we will raise the monies that we need to renovate each one of these homes. Well, my time is almost spent. We just thank God again for another day. Thank God for all that he does for his people. And we thank God for what he's doing for me, even right now. Also, we want to say that if we can get our taxes filed, we haven't filed our taxes now in 6 years. So I need to pull that together. If I can pull that together, then I will be running for congressman of District 13 of the United States of America. Well, pray for me that we can get that done this week so that we can put our name in the hat, because we have to have those 1,000 signatures by the 23rd. Well, if I come back next week and we already applied, then I'm going to need your help to get there, because God has blessed us, given us a great mind. He's given us what to do when we're in trouble, and we want to be able to take that to Washington, D.C. I was stationed there for 2 years. Thank God for that, so I kind of know my way around the place, and we just thank God for all that he do. Let's go to God right now in prayer. Father, we thank you, we bless you, we adore you. And God, we are praying for these people, Lord, who don't have a home, who need a home. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, Lord God, we pray that you would intervene and cause them to call, and that we come together. Even if it's more than 8, even if it's 100, we can take them all 100 through the process at one time and with your strength. And we thank you right now. In Jesus' name we pray, and we love you and we adore you. Amen and amen. Well, that's it. We'll see you on next week if the Lord will, and if the creek don't rise. God bless you. Love you. Bye.
You don't have to go anywhere, because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and this is the Talk Beat Jones.